Oh,
Welcome, everybody, and thank you all for being here, and thank you, Tamara, for organising all this. I can see you're there, Amara, on an iPhone, so it's called welcome to you as well. So what we'll do in this session is I'm going to kick off by asking Amar to welcome you all and say a few words about the approach the conference is taking. And then after that, I'm going to talk a little bit about practical processes, which is the journal and publishing and all that kind of stuff. And then after that, Tamara will walk you through the event software that we have here. So for those who are online, a little bit of a tutorial in how to navigate your way through that. Also, before that, the other thing very importantly that I meant to say is I'll get all the folks here online one by one to introduce yourself. Now, if you're in a noisy Starbucks or you've got a microphone that's not working, you can just put a message in the chat. But what I'll be doing is going around the room and getting you to speak a little bit about what brings you here and if you're presenting, what it is you're presenting to. So that's our agenda. So, but with what I'd like to do now is hand over to the chair of this research network, Professor Amar Galar. How are you, Amar?
Good, thanks, Bill. Hi, everyone. Welcome. We just finished, Tamsin and I just finished with the on-site facilitators or awardees. And it's raining in Vienna, so wherever you are, it's not cold, I hope. Just walk back in time. Thanks, Bill. Welcome, everybody. I think you all would have seen on the webpage, this is the 17th conference. And inclusion has become a common in the common parlance, everything in the museum world, but we still adhere to Dr. Professor Bill Cope's original line that how can the institution of the museum become more inclusive? That was Professor Cope who coined it. We didn't want to define, we didn't want to set the tone. We wanted people to feel free to think and engage in the way they think that museums as institutions could become inclusive. And we have a wonderful group of people, both in Europe and internationally from all over the world. And hope you all get to engage with each other. Bill will talk about the journal, and I'm really happy to say that it's not only Scopus listed and Web of Science listed, but it's a Quartile 1 journal. And I'm on 2 other editorial boards like the Museum Journal and Museum International. But we are quite unique, International Journal for the Inclusive Museum, because if it's not an open-ended dialogue, but also our participants are, sort of on average in their 30s, early 30s, which is wonderful. So it's about intergenerational engagement as we discuss and debate about inclusive museum. So wonderful, welcome everyone. And over to you, Bill.
Yeah, and thank you, Amar, for leading us in this direction. You were one of the founder of this conference all those years ago. It's been there for a while, and it's been a great dialogue over the years. Tragically, the word inclusion, which you would think would be a relatively neutral idea and hard to argue with, has become often quite political, actually, in these times. So to work out what it means and how we do it practically is a really important challenge. Now, just to give people a sense of the conference, we have 172 people who are in person in Vienna. We have 66 people online. And so one of the things that when the COVID crisis hit us, came upon us, we moved to building an online platform. And since COVID, we've kept that because what we've realized is the 66 people who are not in person in Vienna might want to be there, but can't be there for all sorts of reasons. Their health or their work or their families or just the cost of flying these days. So we're very glad to have this kind of, well, let's say it's inclusive of people who can be there in person and people who can't be there in person. So welcome to the 66 online participants. We normally have a small group here. I think most of the action well, I don't think I know, most of the action is asynchronous. So this session will be recorded and quite a few people will pick it up later, but also the parallel sessions are asynchronous. And for the live plenary sessions, which are in Vienna, they're all going to be recorded, and not long after the plenary, not immediately, but some hours later, they'll be posted online. So if you're online only, you're not missing anything. One of the things we do is we ask all the in-person presenters also to present to the online folks. So, some stats, we actually have 151 items of digital media. That's a lot of stuff. So we ask you to go through and look at that. It's it's asynchronous. But one of the things about that is that when you make a comment below one of these pieces of digital media, it triggers an email to the other people in that conversation, the speaker and the other people in that conversation. So one thing that's very important is please don't leave one of these synchronous sessions without leaving a comment, and preferably something which is helpful and substantial. That's really, really appreciated both by the in-person people and the online people. One of the funny things about in-person conferences, or not funny, it's always been the way, is there isn't much chance for dialogue in a conference with a lot of sessions. There's often just a few minutes at the end when you can ask a question and a lot of things get unresolved and unanswered, and all you go away with is a business card of somebody who was in the session. So the great thing about online is that it's open. You can say as much as you like and as often as you like. And even though there won't be people there at the same time that you're typing your comment, the minute you press comment or submit, it will trigger an email, and hopefully we can keep a dialogue going that way. So that's a little thing just about the online conference, and very shortly Tamara is going to take you through, for those who are not familiar with the platform, walk you through how the platform works. I think it's pretty straightforward in many, many ways. It's something which has evolved. We keep working on it, keep building it, and it's getting better with time, and we've got a new version of it that we're working on at the moment as well. So let me also just say a little bit about the conference in general. I'm going to share my screen for a moment. But look, before I start sharing my screen, the next item after this is going to be for you to talk a little bit about if you're giving a presentation, to talk a little bit about your work. So while I'm showing you this, your homework, everybody, or your kind of multitasking screen work is going to be go to your page and put the URL for your page into the chat. And then we'll go through those one by one, and we'll get you to talk about, just briefly for a minute or two, about what you're bringing to the conference and what you're interested in. So Beniha, so that's your homework. You can start doing that, or your multitasking busy work. I won't call it homework. Now I'm going to share my screen for a second, and you can talk a little bit about the conference. So let me here. So this is this year's conference. As Amar said, it's being held in Vienna. And as I say, the Vienna sessions, the plenary sessions will all be recorded, and they'll all be there in the online event area. The theme is intersectionality, museums, inclusion, and SDGs. I mean, this is big, as I just mentioned. I'm sure you all know the word inclusion is at one level innocent and well-meaning, at another level it's become political as well. So we need to try and think through what we mean by that. And SDGs, in many parts of the world where UNESCO is taken seriously, and I'm in the US, and at the moment, by the way, I'm in Champaign, Illinois. I work at the University of Illinois, just by way of background, as a professor here. In a lot of parts of the world, the UNESCO Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, are taken seriously, and with good cause. That's a very interesting framework with a lot of serious objectives behind it. Less so, tragically, in the United States, but certainly in many other countries they are. So this is very, very big, trying to think about how these things overlap: the practices of museum, the social objectives of inclusion, and the bigger UNESCO Sustainable Development Goals, which are goals, which are about good things like, sustainability, for example. That's there in the title. I'd like to just mention briefly also that next year the conference is going to be in Spain. And this is the information. This is the kind of the special themes. The themes every year are quite general, but we also have a special theme that we focus on each year, which is mainly for the plenary speakers, but some of the presenters can also think about these issues. But it's a broad range of issues in addition to that, the same broad range every year. So any of you folks, I'm just trying to say, look, warn you of the next conference, get you thinking about it. If you're online, perhaps you might let it come in person next year. If you're in person, perhaps next year you might be only able to come online. But excuse me, that's the information about next year's conference. The other thing that I want to mention, and this is moving across the Scholar platform. So event is where the conference is held, and Tamara's going to tell you a bit about that in a second. But we have a bookstore here, and you can see here that over the years, we've built this quite remarkable body of work. 517 pieces of work, including 7 books. Here are the books. And we really encourage you to use this. You have access to the whole lot. Here are the books that we've produced over the years. Quite wonderful books on this subject, but also the journal articles as well. So this conference is part of what we call a knowledge building community. So rather than just, walk away and it's ephemeral, we want you, if you're able to, is to submit your paper through a peer review process. So we're formally building a journal and a book imprint series, which is building the knowledge in this area around these intersecting themes. Now, if 517 articles seems a little bit overwhelming, we do have this advanced search here where you can find items that may be specific to your topic. So we're very proud of this knowledge bank that we've been building up over the years. So with that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop sharing now and see if folks, you would like to present on tell us a little bit about what you're doing. So I can see I don't have any links in the chat yet. So Tamara, what I might do is, if you don't mind, is I might go around the room, and if you can find people's URLs for me. I know it's a bit of an ask to go and find a link. So the first person we have is, I'm going to go around just in the order of my titles, is Sushri Mohanty. How are you?
Hi, Will. I'm good.
So tell us a little bit about what you do and what brings you to the conference.
Sorry, am I audible to you?
Yes, very audible, very clear. Thank you.
Could you repeat, please? I didn't.
We can hear you. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from, and are you presenting at the conference?
Yes, I'm presenting a paper, and I'm from Odisha, Bhubaneswar, India. So I'm presenting, but online, yes.
Are you presenting online? Okay, Tamara,
Yeah.
can you find the link to, oh, there it is. There it is. Excellent. Tamara has just found the link, and I will share my screen again, and I will bring up the link for us all to see. Let me just go to the chat here and grab it. Sorry, I'm being a bit slow. There we go. It'll come up in just a second, I hope. So tell us a little bit about your paper and what you do, Bianca. Oh, sorry, not Bianca. Bianca's 2 slides up. Sushri, my apologies.
No problem. So my paper is about the indigenous participation and their narration into the museum setup. So when we talk about inclusivity, so how indigenous people are participating into the museums, and when the indigenous students or like visitors, they comes to museum, how that museums actually interpret. So it is always what few case studies I have taken from India. So that is what my presentation is all about. So it is indigenous narration about the museums when they see their own culture being portrayed in the museums. So, and this study is based on my like here I teach in the postgraduate level. So the student I have taken for museum studies as a paper. So what are the things they experienced, the way they experienced, that actually create this paper. So,
and they're all indigenous.
yes, they are all indigenous.
Wonderful. That's a great paper. And look, one of the things I want to say is that sometimes papers seem to be on things which are very localized and very specific. Don't be fooled by that. You know, there are actually huge issues for all museums which come out of this kind of study. So thank you very much for being here. One of the bits of advice I give to people is, yeah, I'm still sharing. Am I sharing my whole screen, or am I sharing just that one? Am I sharing?
You're sharing, yeah. You're sharing the screen, yeah. You can.
I will just stop sharing, just be sure I'm sharing the right thing. Sorry, because it seems to have dropped out. Share, that's the one I want to share. Yes. So yes, please. Go to sessions which are about from different parts of the world, different topics, because you might be surprised about what the cross connections are. Okay, the next person we have that I'm going to ask to say a little bit is Isaac. Isaac Mensah. How are you, Isaac? And tell us a little bit about your work. If you're having trouble with audio or a bit of problems, no problem at all. I can see there that promoting diversity in museums, the ICI model introduced. So thank you very much for that, from North Dakota State University in the US. Sorry, if you can say something, Isaac, do, but if you can't, don't worry about it. Just say something in the chat. But it's great to have you. And I can see, look, you've had 97 people visit your page already, which is wonderful. The next one that I have here, and I'll just have to bring it up, is Bianca. I'm just going across my slides here.
Hello, I'm Bianca. I'm from Austria, even though I lived for over 20 years in Latin America. I'm part of it in Mexico and as well in Cali, in Colombia. And I will talk about the MuseumsQuartier Colombia, which shall be built in Cali in the upcoming years, and how it's already beginning to be a process. It's already visible online. They already have done some research. And my question was for my master's thesis and also ongoing for my PhD, in which form a museum can be a form of reparation for the transatlantic slave trade and all the racism and discrimination Black people are still facing in Colombia, especially in the area of Cali, Valle del Cauca, which is a mainly Black region.
And again, you know, that sounds like a really rich sort of load to be kind of mining and looking at. So thank you very much for that. And again, enormous implications for all museums, to be quite frank. So welcome and very, very good to have you here. Rudy is my next slide, but he's an audience pass. So very great to have you, Rudy, and welcome. I hope you enjoy all that's in the conference. And the next one I have is Brescia, and I think Tamara is still looking for your presentation. If you've got it and you can put it in as well, that would be great.
Yeah, okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Brescia Ibrahimi. I'm an architect, teaching assistant at the Department of Architecture at International Balkan University in North Macedonia. So I will present in this conference, I will present a topic regarding to redemption as a process, as an experimental approach to museum inclusions. And I will show some case studies from Macedonia, North Macedonia. Having in mind that I'm an architect, and my passion was museum architecture. So I saw that in Macedonia, we have a ton of problems which are not incorporated with architecture, but also with the background of how they function as an institution. And from there, I saw that the discrimination based on governmental party, we had lost a lot of artifacts, and also made the museums to be like under the government as an instrument for the assimilation of the history in North Macedonia. So I took a speculative design principle, which was redemption, and I created some activities that can include more people, without any depend on their interests. So different interests, how to be incorporated in the museums in that way to regenerate the museum itself.
Okay, excellent, wonderful. Now, again, interesting question. Dealing with these questions, I know that North Macedonia is had a difficult history over the last few decades. So these are obviously challenging issues about how one represents the political and social complexities of a place like North Macedonia. So thank you very much for being with us. It's wonderful. The next one that I have going across my just going across my tiles now is Andrew Simpson.
Oh, hi there, William. How are you?
I'm very well, thanks. I recognise that Australian accent.
That's good. Yeah, I'm actually here in Vienna as an in-person presenter.
Fantastic.
And I'm presenting a paper, I think on the last day, on two-way museology, museum experiments in epistemic inclusivity. So I'm approaching the issue as if you look at the museum and the university for that matter as a certain type of institution, they're sort of really known as colonial institutions, and this tends to mean that they can only represent one knowledge system within their different sort of technologies or manifestations, if you like. And so I'm looking at we're developing a project through an ICOM group called UMAC, one of its international committees, which is looking at how we capture different ways of understanding the world or different epistemologies in the museum space. And we're coming up with a few sort of interesting examples and in terms of how to work this into education programs, how to work it into exhibitions, and in particular, how to work it into augmented reality and things like that. And there's some interesting work going on. So it's just a little bit of a sort of a look at some of those projects and some of those different ways of working that people are doing. And we're ultimately looking towards developing a website and maybe seeing if it's possible to extract a few sort of, examples or a few sort of principles of best practice. Because we think that probably the most important challenge of inclusivity in the museum space is being able to include different knowledge systems.
Right.
So yeah, that's
right.
what I'll be talking about.
Yep, no, really, really important. Just an Australian reference, I dare say you may know the work from some time ago by Stephen Harris about two-way education. So I don't know it. Yeah, the two-way idea is kind of interesting, which is these fundamentally different epistemological orientations, not just deep differences that you're dealing with, in other words. So very important, and very glad you could join us in this online session as well as being in person. So I hope you have a good conference there, Andrew.
Really looking forward to it. I think this is only the second Inclusive Museums conference I've been to, but the last one I think was Manchester that I attended.
Right.
It was really an outstanding conference.
Great, lovely, lovely, lovely. All right then, we now move on to the next one, which is Zarasha from Houston, Texas. How are you? Maybe Zarasha's not able to speak. I'll just briefly mention the paper, which is Pro-Pedagogy in the Urban Art Museum, and from the University of Houston, Texas. So welcome, great to have you here. If you are able to speak at some point, that would be great. Oh, you're there, wonderful.
Can you hear me?
Yes, very well now.
Okay, my name is Natasha Shah, and I'm representing University of Houston in Houston, Texas, USA, to the conference, and I'm honored to be here. Thank you so much for giving me this honor and letting me join the entire team of the intellectuals. I appreciate it. My research is revolving around pro-pedagogy in the Urban Art Museum. So pro-pedagogy informs us about the modern and the contemporary ways to use to make the process work in the diverse community. And this process is very interesting and consistent and give us a chance to stay connected, engaged, and involved with the community. I am willing to answer the questions. I'm also a moderator. This year, and that's pretty much it.
Okay, wonderful, great, and great to have you here, and great. Thank you for bringing these ideas to the table. So that's wonderful. The next one that I have going across my Zoom tiles is Alina from the University of Brussels. How are you, Alina?
That's right. Good afternoon or evening, everyone. I'm in Vienna, and I'm looking forward to be presenting, I think, on Saturday in person. So my work is on a paper that I wrote in collaboration with 6 persons, but they're with a learning disability. And so the idea is how we can rethink from their perspective the dominant approach of museum mediation, which is often in written text. And so how we can rethink that from their perspective, and how we can tailor also the multisensory, which is very much rising in museum mediation, how we can tailor it to their needs accordingly.
Right. Okay, a very important point. And I think one of the important things about disability is you end up opening, if you address these issues, you end up opening it up to people you didn't expect to open it up to, who don't feel like reading the big text on the wall and want to get it some other way as well. So these are really important work, both from an access point of view for people with varied abilities, but also broadly for everybody. So very interesting work, and thank you for being here. I'm glad you could join us at this online session as well as being at the conference in person. The next one I have here is we have Carolyn here, who's one of our plenary speakers. Welcome, glad you can make it to this session.
Hi, everyone. I've just arrived in Vienna. I'm in the hotel. Sorry, it's a little dark. Trying to see if I can get the light on. Anyway, I'm going to be unpacking some of the guidance from UNESCO International Normative Instruments that are offering guidance for museums on advocacy, on intersectionality and inclusion. And speaking tomorrow morning.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And you can see everybody who's online, digital media is not there yet, but the digital media, the recording of that session will be uploaded soon after the session's finished. So for people who are just online, you're not going to miss out on that plenary. So great to have you anyhow, Caroline.
Thank you.
And I think the last one I have, and please tell me if I've missed anybody else, is Stephanie Forster from the Cleveland Museum of Art.
Hi, everyone. I'm Stephanie. I'm lead interpretive planner at the Cleveland Museum of Art, and I'm presenting asynchronously. And my paper is a case study that focuses on community voice labels at the Cleveland Museum of Art. So community voice labels are one of our methods of including different lived experiences on the walls alongside the voices of curators. And this is a case study of a project that we did in collaboration with the Cleveland Orchestra about the sort of conception of the American dream. So we invited 22 Clevelanders to talk to us about what the American dream means to them. And my colleague Rachel Arzwaga and I are in the process of doing some evaluation around whether this increases a sense of belonging among visitors and also among participants. So I'm really excited to have our work represented here, and thank you so much.
Wonderful, fantastic. And as I say, I hope you can put in a paper later, because we're trying to build up this collectively published experience of all this stuff as well. But it's great to have you part of this discussion. But also, by the way, these recordings are available to people. You know, the great thing about online and digital media is we can end up with a legacy record of what happened at this conference. And as I said before, we've got 151 presentations which are recorded in this space already. So that'll be there as a permanent archive, which is a wonderful thing. So thank you very much for being there here, Stephanie. And I can see going through all the pages, there's already conferences barely begun, and we've already had a lot of engagement. Again, please, folks, I'm not logged in at the moment, so I can't actually see the digital media, but see this join the discussion button. Please join the discussion. Please leave comments. Don't leave a page without leaving some comments. That's part of the whole You know, what we tend to do with social media is we're mostly passive, to be quite frank. We're looking and watching, observers, but we're going to plead with you to break your social media habits and be active participants, please. So just, I'll say a few final words just to summarize now, and then I'll which is, you know, again, this is the conference. It's in Vienna. I'm going to remind people that next year the conference is going to be in Spain, so please join us either online or in person. And also, please use this resource. You know, we're hoping to get as many papers as we can from this this conference published in this space, but also, you know, it's a remarkable resource. And look, in academia, one of the ways in which you honour your colleagues is by appreciating their work through citation. So one of the things we ask you to do is please cite other people's work, use this work as a resource, and please cite it. Okay, before I hand over to Tamara, who's going to walk you through the event area. Amar, do you have anything you'd like to say? Are you still there, Amar? I hope you are. Would you?
Yeah, I'm here, very much here.
Yeah. Sorry, I've got my screen and I can't see all the tiles now. But
It's
yes,
all right. It's wonderful to hear everyone, and as usual, we have multiple perspectives and perceptions of people what inclusion is about, and there's a diversity of papers. And one of the questions in the last couple of years that people often ask is about the plenary sessions. They can't hear them live. As Professor Bill Cope said, they'll be uploaded soon after. So just be a little bit patient with us. They will be uploaded, the plenary sessions, like Carolyn Montiel, who you just heard, is speaking tomorrow morning. But before the end of tomorrow, her recording will be uploaded. And but enjoy. All I can say is enjoy the conference. And
by the way, with the plenary sessions, you can join in the discussion in the discussion board beneath the recording. So
yeah.
All right, I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna leave now. I'm gonna pass over to Tamara, who is on site there in Vienna, and she's going to walk you through the conference, the event area. Some of you may have used the event area before, and you might not need a tutorial, but Tamara will be there to help you walk you through it. So look, have a wonderful conference, and I think we have another one of these sessions near the end of the conference. I'll see you all there. Okay, bye everybody.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to share the screen to show how to use the microsite of CG Scholar. First of all, I'm going to type the correct cgscholar.com. CG Scholar, yeah. So the correct address. It's our microsite. I'm going to share the screen just to show how to use it and how to engage with online-only digital media and sessions and so on, how to chair the sessions and all these things. So can you please confirm you can see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. So right now I'm on CG Scholar website. I'm going to log in. It's important to have access to all digital media that we have. I think I'm logged in here. So when you log in, you will see your name in the top right corner. What I do, I just try to find the conference. I go to your events here. Okay. Okay. So in your events, you see the conference that starts tomorrow. Today it's pre-conference day. So here you can see the basic information about the conference, the days, where it is, the venue. The proposal number should be here, but I didn't submit any proposal, so I don't have it. The registration number, in case you need it when you submit an article, it's accepted and you will be asked to provide the registration number. It's here, and you can also download the receipt. So if we click on the conference name, we are in on the microsite of the event. We are on the conference page, internal page. On the first page, we can see the most relevant information about the conference. You can also download the e-program, but it's not the schedule. Please do not confuse this. This is a file with the important information about the conference. It's a PDF file, it's downloadable. So if you want, you can download it or look through the very important information about the conference, the special focus, the welcome. Let me show you the welcome letters. They're here. Yeah, I can make it smaller. So the scope and concerns, the whole description of the conference, and this very file will be converted into proceedings book after the conference. So you can download it, or you can just take a look at this file. It's here on our internal page. Then you can take a look on the special focus here, annual themes, and some information about the journal. But let's look through different tabs we have here. The first one is submit a proposal. As I mentioned, I haven't submitted, so in my case, I will have this button. Then your registration, in case you need your registration number, it's here. Here, it's very interesting presentations, because we have all the presentations that we received for the conference, but I'm not sure that all the people who submit them, they will be presenting them, though. So that's the point. But still, if you want to take a look at them, just they're organized in different tabs. The first one is called featured. These are papers presented by our emerging scholars. There are different ones. These are emerging scholars online or in-person ones. So you can just take a look at the papers they're presenting at the conference. The next one, these are papers organized by theme. There are different themes. Okay, and so the papers are organized by different themes. If you scroll down, you can just find the next theme and so on. So next tab, the papers are organized by type. We have different formats like posters, workshops, papers, and so on. They're organized by type. They're organized in alphabetical order by title. And if you're looking for any paper, you don't remember the title, but you do remember the name of the author. Let me check, for example, this one. So we got search option as well, the last one. So if I tap here, this option, oh, I can find, yes, I can find this person, search, and here I've got the whole paper, and I can just get in touch with this person. Also, I have the schedule, yeah, when it's scheduled, so I can just go there. So the last tab is very interesting. It's schedule. It's our leave schedule. It will be always leave, because some tiny changes can be applied at the very last moment, and you will always have this updated version of the schedule. So today it's the pre-conference day. There was a tour in Vienna. Well, 2 tours, and right now it's online welcome training session. You're here in the right place. So we start tomorrow in the morning. These sessions are only in person, but on the last day of the conference, well, I will look through the first day. You have conference welcome plenary session. As Bill has already mentioned, the plenary sessions will be recorded, and you can watch the video of this session. If you click on the title, the video will be uploaded here below. Okay, so in case you have any questions, please click the button, join the discussion, and you can leave any comment here. Any question, suggestion, comment, concern, whatever. So the plenary speakers are in touch. They will receive an email that you'll have to comment there. So, and they will be able to answer. You can look through the sessions. In case you have particular interest in any paper, well, first of all, the sessions are organized in panels. Each panel has a title. In case you have a particular interest, you can always click on the title, and you will have the complete information about the paper, the abstract, the name of the author. Well, in this case, the author has also uploaded the digital media. It wasn't mandatory for in-person participants, but still, this person did it. But in case you have any question, or you want to, let me check another one. You want to request digital media, because there is an option to request as well. Oh, some of them have uploaded digital media. Let me check. Oh, okay. So anyway, imagine we don't have this digital media. There will be a button to request it. So in case you are interested in the paper, you can also join the discussion and write a comment to request it or ask any question as well. So the only thing is, please mention the name of the author or the title of the paper, because these comments will be in the whole panel. The whole panel has like 4 or 5 papers, so sometimes it's not clear whom you refer to. So let's go back. On Sunday, we do have 2 live events. One of them starts at 4 o'clock Vienna time. So these in-person papers are Vienna time. So at 4 o'clock Vienna time on Sunday, we have online only workshop. I know it's morning if you are in the United States, or if you are in Latin America, if you are, or in Asia, it will be other times. So please make sure the time is okay, because it's Vienna time. So this workshop is online only. The speaker will be there, and there is a link to join this workshop. If you click on the title, once again, the same logic. So you will find the link here and the passcode or password, okay? It's 45 minutes. And after the workshop at 5 o'clock Vienna time, once again, there will be online only talk and circle. More or less, it's like the same format. We join together. It's not mandatory, of course, if you can't. But it's really interesting because it's organized some kind of conversation around the topics, around the papers you have already watched, around plenary sessions that you have already watched. So it's like some kind of virtual space organized to create some kind of conversation debate around different topics. So it's quite interesting because we are connecting from different countries. It's an international conference, and it's a good space to organize this kind of conversation. So I do recommend you to join these 2 activities. So the workshop and the token circles, they will be on Sunday. Okay, 2 live activities here. So, and the last step is quite interesting for us, for people who join the conference in online only format. If you click on it, so you will see there is no time. We had to hide the time because there is no time for presentations. This is asynchronous digital media. It means that the presenters have already uploaded, or just in the process, some of them, of uploading digital media. And the papers organized the same way in different panels. Each panel has a title, and each panel has some emerging scholars who help us to start this conversation. Sometimes it's not easy. People feel a bit confused sometimes, so they help us. They show us how to organize this conversation. So if you click on the title of the panel, you can obtain more detailed information about, title and abstract as well. Sometimes it's easier to understand what the paper is about. And you have this small sign that, that means that people have already uploaded their digital media. So if we click on the title, we can take a look at the digital media. In this case, it's a video. So if you click on it, it's an example, you can view the video directly.
Hello, my name.
Okay. So there is no time for this online only digital media, because you can connect and you can view it. The time it's more convenient for your time zone. That's why we decided to hide the time, because sometimes people are confused. When you have any question, any suggestion, any recommendation or concern about the paper, please click on the button join the discussion. Well, some comments have already been left. Agnieszka is I think one of the emerging scholars, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, it's a good example because she mentioned the name of one of the authors. It's really important because, as I mentioned, the comment will appear in the whole panel. So it's really important to understand whom you refer to. So that person, when they receive an email, a notification that there was a comment in the session, and they have time to reply. We have this button to reply, and I can reply. You can also reply to other comments, and so we try to establish some kind of conversation in this panel, in this discussion board. So basically, there are different panels. Just look through them. Also take a look at the in-person panels in case you are interested in some of the papers. You can also request their digital media. You can take a look at them and so on. Another very interesting button we have here, if I go back, oh no, we don't have it here. Sorry, it was my confusion. So after the conference, as Bill has already mentioned, the registration fee includes the possibility to publish a paper in the journal. You will have up to 1 year to submit the paper to the journal. And you will need the registration number when the paper is accepted, because you will be asked for this number. And when you provide the number, the paper will be published for free. Also, after the conference, you will receive a certificate of attendance and presentation of a paper. So basically, I think that's it from my side. I think I'm going to stop the recording. In case you have some questions, you can ask me. Okay, thank you so much. Are there any questions?